I was scrolling through Zillow at 2 in the morning when I saw it. My childhood home listed for $1. Not 100,000. $1. The same house where Mom had lived for 43 years, where she still tended her garden, where I'd FaceTimed her just 6 hours earlier. And according to the listing, it had sold. Pending close. The seller's name made my blood run cold. Rachel Bennett. My sister. But that was impossible. Mom was still alive. Still living there. I clicked on the transaction history with shaking hands. The buyer's name was also Rachel Bennett. My sister had sold our mother's house to herself for $1. I didn't know it then, but that single dollar would cost me everything I thought I knew about my family. I sat there frozen, my mind racing. This wasn't a mistake. This was deliberate. I forced myself to breathe and started taking screenshots, then searched the property records. What I found made my stomach drop. A power of attorney document had been filed 3 weeks ago, granting Rachel full legal authority over all of Mom's finances and property. It was notarized. It looked legitimate. Except Mom had never mentioned signing anything like that. And I talked to Mom every single day. Rachel and I hadn't always been enemies. Growing up, we'd been complicated but close. She was 4 years older, the responsible one, straight A's, college scholarship, became a real estate agent, married a lawyer. I'd struggled through community college, worked retail, finally landed on my feet as a freelance designer. When Dad died 8 years ago, Rachel handled everything. The funeral, the insurance, the paperwork. I'd been too destroyed to function. Maybe that's when it started, this idea that Rachel was the capable one and I was too emotional to handle adult things. But Mom was healthy, 71, and sharp as ever. She drove herself to book club, volunteered at the library, beat me at online Scrabble every time. There was no reason she'd need someone to have power of attorney, unless Rachel had convinced her there was. I checked Rachel's Facebook. 2 weeks ago, she'd shared an article about elder financial abuse with a caption, "So important to protect our vulnerable loved ones." 1 week ago, sometimes doing the right thing means making hard choices. She was building a narrative, making herself look like the concerned daughter. But protecting Mom from what? From me? My phone buzzed. A text from Mom at 3 in the morning. "Sweetie, are you awake? I need to talk to you about something." I called her immediately. Mom's voice sounded terrified. And she said Rachel had been making her sign papers she didn't understand. Mom had been crying. She told me Rachel had been visiting almost daily for the past month, which I had known because Rachel told Mom not to mention it to me. Rachel said I was stressed with work and didn't need to worry about family things. Mom thought it was sweet, but the visits got strange. Rachel started saying the house was too big, too expensive. Mom should downsize into assisted living. Mom refused. That's when Rachel brought papers. "Just routine documents," Rachel had said. "Estate planning Dad never finished. Don't worry about the legal language. Just sign here." Mom had trusted her. Why wouldn't she? So she'd signed. But tonight, Mom couldn't sleep. She'd looked at the copies Rachel left and saw power of attorney and panicked. She'd called Rachel, who'd been calm, patient, saying it was just a precaution. Nothing to worry about. But Mom still felt wrong about it. I told her about the Zillow listing. The silence on the other end was devastating. Then quietly, "That's not possible. This is my house." Rachel wouldn't. She couldn't. I read her every word of the listing. She started crying so hard she couldn't speak. I drove to Mom's house through empty highways, calling my friend Derek, who'd just finished law school. He listened and said, "That's elder financial abuse. That's a felony. Call the police. Get your mom to a lawyer immediately to revoke that power of attorney." When I arrived, every light was on. Mom looked smaller than I'd ever seen her. We sat at her kitchen table, and I photographed every paper Rachel had left. Then I opened Mom's laptop and checked her bank accounts. My hands went numb. Over the past 3 weeks, there had been multiple transfers out of Mom's savings. Small amounts at first, then bigger chunks. The account that should have had over $200,000 now had $43,000. The transfers had all gone to Rachel. But that wasn't the worst part. In Mom's email spam folder, I found messages Rachel had been sending to memory care facilities. Rachel had been inquiring about availability, describing Mom as suffering from progressing dementia and increasingly unable to manage her own affairs. The most recent email confirmed a tour scheduled for next week. Rachel was planning to have Mom declared incompetent and locked away in memory care. Once Mom was there, Rachel would have complete control. The house, the money, everything. And who would question the successful real estate agent with the lawyer husband? Mom stared at the screen, and her fear turned to steel. I raised her. I sacrificed everything. And she's doing this to me? We're calling the police. Right now. We called that night. A detective arrived, examined everything, and opened an investigation for elder financial abuse and fraud. But your mother did sign that power of attorney, she warned. You need a lawyer. Fast. If that sale closes, reversing it becomes nearly impossible. By noon the next day, we were in a lawyer's office. Patricia filed an emergency motion to revoke the power of attorney and placed a hold on the property sale. She helped Mom file a restraining order against Rachel. Rachel called Mom 47 times that day, then started texting me long messages about how I was being manipulated, how Mom was sick and in denial, how I was destroying our family. That night, Rachel's lawyer husband sent me a cease and desist letter threatening to sue me for defamation. It almost worked, almost scared me into backing down. But then I remembered Mom's face when she realized what her own daughter had done to her. And I knew some betrayals are so deep, they change everything. Rachel had taught me that family isn't always who you're born to. Sometimes it's who you choose to protect when everyone else walks away. We won in court. The power of attorney was revoked. The sale was voided. Rachel faced criminal charges. Mom kept her house. But we lost something too. The idea that family means unconditional love. Now we know better. If this story made you feel something, I hope you'll share it. Because somewhere out there, someone else might be living this nightmare right now, and they need to know they're not alone. That it's okay to fight back. Even when it's family. Especially when it's family. Every story leaves a mark. If this one touched you, let the telling tree grow by your like and subscribe.